Hi guys, it's me, Faye, here at Faye Does, and I'm with Harmony, and we are on a filming spree in the beautiful temple, and we're doing another one for the Bite Size Spirituality series, and today we are talking about spiritual diet. So what do you personally think spiritual diet, what does it mean to you?
Spiritual diet to me is following what you believe ethically suits you on your spiritual path. I don't think you can follow anybody else's spiritual diet or anybody else's diet because everybody is different. You know, some people are lactose intolerant, some people are allergic to certain things, some people have different dietary needs and standards and so on and so forth. So there's no way you can kind of copy somebody's spiritual diet. And also everybody has different ideas on what's ethical and what's not, and what's healthy and what's not, because different things affect you and your body and your mind differently. So to me, a spiritual diet is very much your personal choice and your personal feelings. I don't think that there is any right or wrong way to do a spiritual diet. If you choose to be a vegan or a vegetarian, brilliant, that's good. But if you choose to eat lots and lots of red meat because you personally feel that is making you feel a certain way that you like, that helps you grow spiritually, then good for you. You know, there are different health benefits of everything, obviously, but it's what you have to take into account for what feels right for you, and I don't think anybody can kind of tell you what you should be doing.
No, definitely, it's very true. I personally feel like I always have a conflict because I want to, and I feel like I should be a vegetarian, but I'm not, but then I pretty much lead like a vegetarian lifestyle, and I don't eat very much meat at all, but I think if I was to sort of, I don't know, label myself as vegetarian, actually properly wholeheartedly like convert to vegetarianism, I feel that I would, I don't know, if I craved like a burger or I want like pepperoni on a pizza, that I would feel that I was like bad or wrong or that. But then I just hate the thought of like animals being killed for our food, especially as I feel, especially in first world countries nowadays, that we actually don't need to eat meat to survive. There's so many supplements and other natural things that we could eat, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, like I wouldn't want to be a vegetarian if I couldn't 100% say like I don't want to eat an animal. The thought of it makes me sick, which it does. If I actually think about it, it does. But so it's that sort of like conflict. This is the debate I've been having with myself the last few years. Really,
that makes me feel really unhappy. Because whenever I, like, cut meat...
Oh, I couldn't do that.
It makes me think, like, this is really easy. Like, it's really easy to cut through meat.
Yeah.
And I think, but if it's this easy to cut through a person, that's what I think of. Like, when somebody's carving a turkey or something, you don't think anything of it. But, like, could you just hack through a person like that? Do you know what I mean?
It's horrible, isn't it?
That's what I think. It automatically makes me think about my skin. And I kind of, you know, and I just think, would it be that easy to cut through me?
It's just sad. I don't know, I just don't like the
Mandy for
thought
Christmas
of it.
dinner.
And I think, but the thing is as well, I think what I find hard, and when you actually think about, like, what you're eating meat-wise, you're like, oh my god, that's horrible. You think of the, like, poor little animal or whatever. Or, like when I eat burgers and stuff, the trouble is that there's, like, especially, like, when you have, like, I don't know, from, like, McDonald's or whatever, like, they're so transformed from what they are. It's not like you're eating a cow anymore because, I mean, first of all, they're like pumped full of like cereal and chemicals and stuff anyways. You've probably only got like 5% meat anyway, that's besides the point. But because you've got all the like lettuce and the bun and all the cheese and the sauces and all sorts in there, it's like, I don't know, it sounds silly, but it's almost like you're not eating meat anymore. I don't know. So you sort of like, if I was eating like a proper like steak dinner or something that actually resembled meat, I think I'd find it so much easier and I'd be like, oh, I can't eat, that's disgusting, that's an animal, because it just doesn't look like an animal anymore.
But I think, and also there's lots of other things to take into consideration, like when you're becoming a vegetarian, it's not just eating a piece of meat on your plate. You have to start looking in lots of other things like flavourings, and I mean even sweets and stuff. So many of them
use gelatin, don't they?
it's not just meat on your plate. But I mean, like for me personally, I say I'm a vegetarian. In actual fact, I'm a pescatarian because I do eat fish. I use the term vegetarian because most people I meet don't know what pescatarian means.
See, this is the thing though, how can you, that's what I always struggle with personally. If I was a vegetarian, I don't understand how people can still like eat fish, because I still think of fish as a living
the reason I do it, the main reason that I don't eat meat is because it sounds awful, but this is true. The main reason I don't eat meat is because when I eat meat, I feel really sluggish and really heavy. I don't feel like I sleep as well. I don't feel like my digestive system.
I think a lot of meat.
I don't feel like my digestive system works as effectively as when I don't eat meat. When I eat fish, I don't have that problem. So that's why for me, I can cut out meat but still eat fish. Because for me, it sounds awful, but for me, it is a purely selfish decision. I've acknowledged what makes me feel healthier and what makes me feel better, and therefore I've cut that out and I've kept in what I feel. And you know, people may kind of look at that and say, oh well, that's terrible, but there are plenty of vegetarians in the world that aren't doing it because they view animals as sentient beings or because they have a problem with animal cruelty. It's just because they don't like taste.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like, I like the taste of meat. I'm not going to lie, but it doesn't make me feel particularly healthy.
No, and I feel like comes back to the whole topic of spiritual diet. That's what's like right for you,
exactly,
isn't it?
That's what's right for me. Spiritually, it makes sense for me to listen to my body and do what's best for my body. Now, other vegetarians may say that I'm wrong and I'm selfish, and that if I eat fish, it doesn't count, and blah 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 blah. But I don't eat meat. Fish and meat come into a different category, and I don't eat meat, so I am technically a vegetarian, but it's not necessarily for the same reasons everybody else. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't agree with animal cruelty, or I don't condone anything like that, but my main reason is because of how I feel.
Yeah, and I don't eat meat like very often at all, really. I wouldn't even once a week, I say, is a stretch. I don't even think I even have meat once a week, and maybe every couple of weeks or few weeks. And if I do, so I think it would be like in something. It would be like a filler. Wouldn't be like a steak or something. Or may occasionally be like gammon or chicken or something. But I don't eat meat that often. But that's what I hate. I always sort of have that sort of like, I don't know if you sort of have that sort of like inner like debate with myself, and it's like, I don't know. I just want to. It's almost like I want someone to tell me what the right thing is to do, like I should do this or do that, but I know that obviously that's the whole point is that I have to like work it out for myself, but it's very frustrating.
If you have an inner debate with yourself, then that just goes to say that what you're doing right now isn't right for you. Do you know what I mean?
That's true, yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to cut meat out of your diet. It could be that you need to do something kind of different, or do it on, eat different types of meat, or eat it in different ways. It doesn't necessarily mean that, oh no, you're eating meat, you should stop. But I think if you have inner debate with yourself about anything, you know it's because something isn't right the way it is right now.
Yeah, it's a conflict, but yeah, so we once again leave it there. But I'd love to know like what your sort of like personal thoughts are, and if you are like a vegetarian or pescatarian, that's how you say, isn't it? Or if you are and why, or if you're not, or if you're like me and you're sort of on the fence, like what? I don't know.
There's vegan.
Like, there's too many things.
And there's ovo-vegan, which is when you're vegan but you still eat eggs.
See, that's just silly. There's just too much stuff.
Well, it comes into like a different category again, doesn't it? Like eggs aren't really classed as dairy. Like people who are lactose intolerant can still eat eggs a lot of the time.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So
I suppose so, but I think I always sort of personally think if you're becoming like vegan, it's because you don't want to eat anything that comes from an animal, and eggs still come from an animal.
Well, I think a lot of the time it's because you don't. I don't know. I'm not vegan, but I think a lot of the time it's because people don't want to use any animal byproducts that animals have suffered.
Yeah, so
and you're taking milk from animals. In terms of that was meant to feed their children, and you're taking it away. Whereas eggs that have not been fertilised, chickens are going to pass naturally. Do you know what I mean? Even if it's just your neighbours who happen to have a couple of chickens, you know, and it's not done in any kind of factory
as
farming,
long as
factory
you have,
farming way.
Yeah,
if it's neighbours that have a few chickens, you know,
yeah, but as long as they're like through like caged,
that's what I mean.
Yeah, stuff like
then
that.
there is nothing really necessarily wrong. Just like if your neighbour had a cow and was milking the cow, then I guess there's nothing really wrong with that. I get it's one of those things where everybody
it's a
decides
personal thing, isn't it?
for themselves how they personally feel about it.
But yeah, no, I'd love to know what you think. As you can tell, we have sort of differing views a bit, quite strong about it. But yeah, so let us know what you think, and it would be really cool. So we could, like, I don't know, have a debate in the comments.
I'm not debating. I'm right.
But we will see you guys again in our next video. Bye.
Bye.